All right, time for some more FFTactics. As I said at the end of last video, but I want to say at the start of this one, if you're not interested, and I don't blame you, in the kind of early game grinding and are familiar with the early game story, I would just skip to whatever episode is titled Dorter. That's when the game is going to start proper. I'm going to try to minimize how much grinding I show, but last episode was kind of slow. And the game starts a little slow, and I have some criticisms of how the game starts, but also we're doing a challenge, and the game has some elements of the challenge that are important here, and that limit what we can how interesting this start can be. So our squad is 4. I'm sending out a wizard and then our 3 units that actually have to gain JP. And what's basically going to happen this fight is Delita and our wizard will defeat all the enemies, and our 3 other units will sit in the back and maybe punch each other if they want JP, but mostly sit around doing nothing. And that's all we want from them. We're going to minimize the levels they gain. Because they're all level 1, they will only be hitting other level 1s, which gets you the least experience. So they will not do too much leveling. Still breathing. What'll we do? Don't be stupid. We just need to get the marquee. Right. Hey, don't blame us. Blame fate. Who? Damn. The Hokuton Knights. Deathcore. They attacking someone. Our duty is to destroy the Deathcore, or saving him is our priority. Now, I would select saving him as our priority, but depending on what you pick here, you get a different mission objective. If you say saving him as our priority and he falls, you lose the fight. That makes this very losable. We don't want to reset here. Our duty is to destroy the Death Core. Whenever we're given an option between protecting someone or defeating the enemy, I believe we should always pick defeating the enemy, and it is always the top option, which is very nice. Our duty is to destroy the Death Core. Get them. Are you mad, Shikuchi? Leaving him stranded? Is this how you fight? Yeah, we make decisions for gameplay reasons. I'll save him. Delita, showing a lot more nobleness than we are so far, but that's okay. We're here for gameplay purposes. And some story, but Delita has auto potion now, and we bought a whole bunch of potions. Reinforcements, thank God. August is pretty strong. Hits for 25. A lot of that is weapons. We haven't talked much about gear. A lot of the characters that were doing more like 12, it's because they had daggers or broadswords, while the characters doing more damage like Ramza and Delita have better equipment. I didn't actually check the equipment here, so that was my bad. But we will be working within the confines of the equipment we have, and that makes it early appear that characters like August, Delita, and Ramza, or Shikuchi, as you may know him, are very strong, when in fact they're maybe slightly stronger, but with much better equips. Okay. Now, we need Shikuchi to reach level 2 Knight. He is currently on 173, so I will have him move here and attack another level 1. Gonna do 28. Hopefully it doesn't critical. That would be a problem. He needs to do 3 turns, because that got him 10 JP. He needs to break 200. 3 attacks to break 200. Now, our wizard's going to run forward, and I was really hoping they could hit the enemy. They cannot quite reach, so I guess we'll just wait. And Squire, we need you. You're going to get some runoff just from what Delita and Algus are doing, so you probably don't need to do anything. And you can use a potion on yourself, because what are we trying to get with you? We're just trying to get you up to the next level of this. And this, you just need the next level of Squire. So you're probably going to get the next level of Squire on her own for Yuna, and Pythia, I believe, just already actually job leveled up. Yeah. Despite not hitting 200 JP. Oh, but it was out of the 200 total because we spent 30 was spent on item or something. Okay. So these 2 characters are all set. They don't need to do anything else this fight. Anything they do will just be gaining experience without JP benefits. Yeah, so I think you just sit here. Don't get yourself killed, Algus. We want you to be getting experience here because we want you to be hitting the enemies rather than us. Perfect. Yeah. We have auto potion here. It doesn't always proc. Probably better that it doesn't. Kind of would have wasted a potion to just heal 3 HP. Right, Delita next. No. Hopefully this doesn't take him out. He has 15 life. Oh, does 15. Unlucky. But they all group together, so our next wizard spell will do a lot. Now, must save the marquee. Now, if we had selected our job is to save him, we would have just gotten a game over. So we're gonna cast ice, and it's gonna do a whole bunch of damage, and it hits an area, and it will be cast quite quickly because enemy unit speed is quite slow, and the lower power spell you cast, the faster it comes out. Yeah, so you can see Wizard's incredibly good. We can start to see the glory that will be Wizards if we ever do the Wizard playthrough. And the reason you want to draft Wizards is they absolutely wreck everything in Chapter 1. You know, just instantly end fights. Ramza does need more experience, right? We're trying to get 2 more hits on as a knight. So we'll attack. Hopefully we don't crit. And we'll need 1 more. Next turn we'll use a potion. Don't need you to do anything. Don't need you to do anything. I was hoping we would get off another spell before they stopped being grouped up, but we can still hit 2 of them next turn. Even if that one moves. We still have a way to hit 2. That's good. We can hit the coyote thing and the other guy. Or if Delita, oh no, he's gonna move first. That's weird. All right, because the only way we could hit the 2 next to us is if we cast it on the square in between. But if Delita doesn't have time to move, we'll hit Delita. And we'd rather not take out Delita. Right. You can use a potion here. And that levels up you as a knight, which is all we needed from you. So now none of these 3 characters have to do anything. And let's actually check. We can check. Does Delita go before ice goes off? Yes. So if we move somewhere like here and cast, note we can use where we are at the start of the turn to determine where we cast and then move out of the way later. But Delita will have time to move out of the way. And the AI, while not, smart per se, is smart about stuff like that. And it's also pretty good about knowing whether the attack will kill things. So I think it's going to double kill here, because if it wasn't going to double kill, he would have attacked one of them. But the AI sees both of those are going to die anyway. I'm going to leave them alone. There's some kind of funny exploits on that, because if you cast Death Sentence on a character of yours, that character will die in 3 turns. But the enemy AI will not attack them during those 3 turns because it will think they're going to die anyway. And you can kind of sneakily, go do aggressive things and be ignored by the enemy during those 3 turns. Of course, you do die at the end of those 3 turns, but we can't have everything, right? Will this go off before the enemy? Yes. We'll do 55. I think I'm going to leave this enemy to Delita, actually. We should check. Who needs Wizard? Does anyone need Wizard? Pythia will need Wizard, but it's going to be so easy for her to get Wizard. Yeah. And we do need some Squire here. We want you to be able to move on from Squire. You need 34, so we need Delita to do some things. Maybe actually we should use a turn with Yuna, because we do want her to get out of Squire. All right, we will do 1 turn. Maybe 2, actually. And we're going to get in the way just so the enemy unit can't run up and hit the character we just attacked. And we'll turn away so that we never miss if we attack ourselves. And Delita can run up and hit that one from behind. And yeah, not too much to do here. But you can see this is actually a remarkably easy fight to game over if you select we must save Delita. Sorry, must save Algus. Which is a very curious thing to have so early in the game that it's just very easy to game over and very easy to not to have saved at this point. Alright, I didn't actually want that to crit. I wanted him to get multiple turns of attacking here, but that's okay. Attacking ourselves remains the best way to gain low experience. Um, Maybe we'll leave some crystals out here so that this guy can heal, and that will make Delita take longer to take him out. Uh, and we want Delita to be gaining levels and gaining experience. Um, our goal with Delita is kind of have him be this auto potion knight for the rest of the chapter. All treasure chests, that's a little annoying. Okay, we use a potion now. But knights have pretty good HP, and if he has auto potion, it is difficult for. Okay, I think we just leveled you up as squire. Yep, so you don't need to do anything more. Um, it is pretty easy for him to be essentially unkillable with high HP and auto potion on, or difficult to kill at least. Let's move close enough we can grab a treasure chest if we get another turn. But we're going to mostly wait here and let Delita do the rest of the fight. And Delita will probably end the fight this turn. But yeah, because our party is really a weak Chapter 1 party, once we get into the game proper, so many treasure chests dropping. We are going to want Delita to be as strong as possible. And it is entirely plausible I should have started healing the enemy unit, or made sure Algus was up so he would get some turns too. Still breathing. Let's save him. But, you know, we're not quite being optimal, though I am making some moves in that direction. Okay. One thing is you don't actually have to unlock all the classes you're going to use yet, but I like to. I'm Algus at the Limbury Aegis Knights. One thing is, you might think, but unlocking them later would be a pain. You'd have to grind later. You can grind missions that open up in Chapter 2, and those get you JP. I prefer just playing it this way, but you know, you can. There is another way to get JP without leveling. A knight, but only available in Chapter 2. I mean, a cadet, like you all. I'm Shikuchi Bulve. This is Delita, the good friend. Bulve of the Hokuten? Excellent! How lucky I am! Huh? I beg you, please help me save the Marquis. What are you talking about? The Marquis is still alive. They've kidnapped him. He will be killed if we don't act fast. I don't know what I would do if. So please, help me. Please. Relax. We don't know for sure if he'll be killed. There must be some reason for Deathcore to take him. They might have made some demands. Besides, there's nothing we can do. The Marquis was kidnapped, and I'm sure by now everyone at Egros Castle is up in arms. First, we should go to Egros and report. Alright, let's do that. Alrighty. So an event has happened. The Marquis has been kidnapped by the Death Corps. Incidentally, I think the Meager is a good name for a chapter. But yeah, you could see how incredible Magic Up Wizards are. It's just an absurdly good class. So you need to be working on Monk now. We need to get you level 3. Oh no, we need to get you level 3 Knight. Now, I think we're going to switch Delita over to Knight now. So that will get you some Knight points. So you should be working on Monk. We'll make sure to switch Delita, as I remember. Now, he's currently low HP, and I said Knights were high HP, but it's because we haven't equipped him with other stuff here yet. We're also going to change Algus's job. Nope, he has to be Squire for now. All right, Squire he is. Can we JP Scroll Glitch him? No, because there is no ability we can tell him to learn and move from, right? So actually, let's change his job to Chemist to make sure he gets enough experience that he will be able to JP scroll as a chemist. So let's put basic skill here. Does he actually have any basic skills worth using? Let's give him throwstone. That's something to do. And let's take this off. So you'll be a chemist. You'll be a knight. You're a monk, and you need to get to level 4 monk. You can now change to what do you need to be? Priest Oracle. You need to change to priest, and then you'll get Oracle. So you need to level up to 2 as priest. We'll learn something, so you have something to do here. Well, let's JP scroll glitch. Perfect. And I guess we'll give you cure, maybe raise, just in case. Oh no, you're going to be a priest. Right, you can learn everything here. So let's learn cure 3, cure 4, raise 2, re-raise, regen. Right, this is actually going to be your role. If you learn protect and protect 2, I think out of order, it will permanently show up out of order. So you do usually want to learn these in order if you like your menus to look pretty. So I think we're just going to master the class and start putting on abilities. Looks good. Oh, and we'll put item here because item's useful. And yeah, you look good. You need to just level up to 2 as priest, and then you can be an oracle, and you're done. Pythia is going to be by far the easiest character to get going. Yuna, on the other hand, she needed 2 at squire, so she could move on to knight and archer. She'll get some knight on her own, so I guess she'll do archer now, because no one... Oh, Rams is going to need to go through archer as well. Shikuchi is. But I think we'll have you go archer and get to level 2 archer. All right. Anything else to do? We'll get rid of you. We don't need you. Goodbye. Sorry, Samson. We can go on without you. And let's go to Egros. See what's up. That was a less like drawn out, lengthy fight, which is nice. Fights will generally not be super drawn out, and when they are, I think they'll be interesting, right? We'll be like trying to figure out how to survive under pressure rather than just like slowly whittling down enemies. This really won't be a grindy playthrough. I cannot stress this enough. All the grinding is at the start, then we just rush the story and have a great time. I hear you beat the first troops. I'm proud to be your brother. Aww. The senior statesman spoke highly of you. You are truly descended from Bolves. Thank you. Aren't you happy? Oh yes, I am. Thank you for the kind words. You might have heard about the enemy attacking Eldor's carriage and kidnapping him. What would you have us do? I've already had Zalbeg send out a search party. They'll probably demand ransom, if he's still alive. Highness, please let me have 100 soldiers. I beg you, let me avenge my comrade's murder. I said it's taken care of. Didn't you hear me? Galleon isn't any place for you. Let us handle it. But think of your rank, Algus. He's a cadet. Have you forgotten you're just a soldier without rank of knighthood? A cadet probably is not going to get away with asking for 100 knights, you know? I want you to guard Egros Castle. It shouldn't be so difficult. Danger probably won't get this far. At least we're spending more time in the present this episode. No flashbacks, no flash forwards. You know, we're with our current cast of 3 characters. My family was once respected like the Bolves. My grandfather was captured during the 50-Year War. He sold his friends out to the enemy to save himself. But as he left the castle, he got stabbed in the back by a cadet, just like myself. One of my grandfather's friends managed to escape and spread the story around. Of course, my father didn't believe it, but everyone else did. They deserted him. Rank. Daisadarg would never meet with someone like me. Delita, This game is going to be quite invested, at least for a while, in kind of your position in society. And I think it's going to have some interesting things to say there, or at least interesting for what kind of games tend to cover. Teta, Alma, Zalbag. All right, so this is our other older brother, our sister, and Delita's sister. And you can tell who's who from the hair and presenting gender of the characters. Brother Shikuchi, you came back. Long time no see, brother. I heard you beat the thieves in Garland. That's worthy of a bullbag. I'm sure father would have been pleased with you. Thank you. Huh, haven't changed a bit. You don't like that much, eh? You may notice there were ellipses before every thank you. Delita, you look good. I heard about your role also. Just look how happy Teta is. Delita, I'm glad you're doing well. You also. How's your schooling? Fine. Everyone is so nice to me. I'd like to talk more with you, but I must hunt down some thieves. Pardon me. I pray for your victory. Advanced graphics on the wave. The Death Corps have demanded a ransom. What? I can't understand it. The Death Corps claim to be anarchists, but they only rob and hurt the nobility. It's hard to believe they would kidnap the Marquis just for money. Absurd. Why, they're nothing more than knaves, I say. I like it in a story when you have something that doesn't make sense to the characters, right? It tells you, the player, there's something here to figure out. There's something not quite clicking. There's something more going on in the motivations here. And while the translation isn't great, what Zalbag is saying is they have declared themselves anarchists, and clearly, and he's sort of saying but clearly, but I would say and clearly, their goal is something about taking down the nobility, and that doesn't, in his eyes at least, jibe with kidnappings for money, right? Money doesn't, well, necessarily change that much. Algus, on the other hand, sees them entirely as knaves, right? Not as having purpose beyond doing harm. The spy we sent still hasn't returned. He's probably in trouble, but the nobles say there's no need to search for his whereabouts. Where was he when you last heard from him? A trade city called Dorder, east of Gallione. Guarding a castle is boring work, don't you think? Look at Zalbag, little instigator. He's a hint hint. Teta, I'm sorry, we must go. Don't worry about me, just take care of yourself. Don't worry, I'll come back safely, so be a good girl. Well then, let's go, Algus. What Teta said is not true. Actually, something wrong with Teta. She has been picked on at school because of her rank. Sorry, I shouldn't have worried you like that. Teta will be okay. I'll be there for her. Trust me. I'm not worried, but don't you overdo it. You're the one going too far to meet their expectations. Just be yourself and don't be restricted by your name. You sound like our mother. That makes it clear Alma has the same mother as Shikuchi, or Ramza does, and also has a different mother than Zalbag and Daisadar had. We will never meet any of the mothers, but interesting to note the kind of two groups. Shikuchi. We get Blowing in the Wind. Great graphics here. All right. So we have one more story battle to do, and then the rest of my grinding to get the classes we desire will come later. But first, we can now shop. We can go to the fitting room, and we specifically would like to deck out Delita. Get 20 HP, 40 HP, and yeah, we want to do that. We want Delita to be, 81 HP Juggernaut. You are not going to be so great for a bit. You don't need the battle boots. Let's give those to Delita. Battle boots give one additional move, and actually, let's give both of those to our guests because they're the ones going to be running around defeating things. And we'll give you the Mithril Knight, so you have a little more power while you do so. And yeah, Delita will be doing most of the work. Prithia, you need to level up Priest. Yuna, you need to level up Archer. And Shikuchi, you need to level up Monk. And we will have Sage just killing enemies to keep things under control. I'm going to save state here so that if we get a random encounter, I can unsave state out of it. See, there we go. Because we will not be doing random encounters in this run because it would level us up unnecessarily and we want to be low level. And it would be a much bigger pain to just constantly save the game and have to reload saves. So it is very nice for our purposes that that we don't have that. So we're going to leave our three characters just in the back, and they're just going to pummel each other in the background while the fight goes on, because this is the most efficient way to gain small amounts of experience. If we fight the enemies and kill them, you get an extra 10 experience for each kill. We don't want experience. If you attack higher level enemies, you get more experience. We don't want experience. So we want to be punching other level ones, and the way to do that is to bring other level ones into the fight. Rotten luck. Meeting monsters in a place like this. Don't gripe, Algus. Better than guarding a castle. This is a matter of life and death. How can you say that? Enough. Here they come. So hopefully, Delita especially, but also Algus can do all the work. And yeah, Delita Auto Potion Knight is just pretty strong. Can deal with most things. Algus is kind of low on life, so if he runs forward and gets surrounded, he's probably going to go down. Now, if we look here, Black Magic is turn 10, right? And that's because all the enemy units are going to get turns before we do. How much move do you have? 3? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So you can't reach us. So we're just going to wait here, and that way we'll get our next turn faster. And hopefully that will put us on a cycle where we can charge a spell and not have problems of enemies moving by the time we cast it. Oh, you just leveled up as an archer? Fantastic. You only need level 2 archer, so you're done. Alright, Yuna is done for the fight. You can only level up the class you're in by doing stuff in that class. Alright, you need level 4 monk, so you're going to be going a while here. Oops, that's too much damage. That's also too much damage. So I guess you can throw out potions. You're going to be healing here. Because monk damage is dependent on brave, and Ramza has high brave and pretty high power, and the other characters are low level. So he actually can't really attack anyone because he'd just do too much damage. So he'll have to use items on himself, and you're trying to get to a level 2 priest. And that'll be it for you. That will open up Oracle, where I think we can also JP Scroll Glitch, but I'm not actually sure. Maybe that's not one we can JP Scroll Glitch, in which we might have to actually do some stuff as an Oracle to get the experience to take a more active role in fighting. So they're coming forward. Luckily, it looks like they're a bit far away, so we'll be the one to get first hit. And now, yeah, you can see only our units go between us and this going off. So I'm going to run, I guess, what's the range on this? I think it's 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we want to target him so it hits these 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, let's move one step forward and launch ice. Ice is solid against bomb, but really effective against goblins. We could use ice too, and I think it would still go off before anything, but I like saving MP. This means that ice would not have killed that, but now it might. Algus is definitely going to go down. He does not have enough experience now that he's surrounded. Yuna, we said, was done for the fight. Ramza is on heal himself duty, or Shikuchi as you might know him. We're going to have to buy more potions soon. And he's going to be doing stuff for a while. Sadly, he can't punch the other level 1 because they don't have enough experience to survive. Um, Oh, I have an idea. What we'll do is we'll have we won't hit Ramza. We'll hit this unit, and then Ramza can heal this unit, and that way they're both attacking a level 1, and we'll gain less experience. Because now if Ramza uses a potion on himself, or we attack Ramza, it's hitting a level 2, right? And that'll gain more experience. Sadly, Delita couldn't reach anything. Alright, August probably going to go down to the bomb and the other goblin. Yeah, no way he's surviving this. If he did get one turn off, that's probably not enough JP to JP scroll. I think he needed to get more than one attack off. So I have not done very well managing Algus. But that's alright. I don't think we need him for this fight. Our wizard is, as always, just so incredibly powerful. Alright, Yuna's not doing anything. And what should we do? Should we hit you? You're already at 11. Let's go after this. I'm going to try to stay a little far away from the enemies. They'll do 24. That's okay. That puts it in finishing range for Delita. And now Ramza can be on heal, the level 1 unit now, which will gain him 9 experience instead of 10, which, if you think of how many times it multiplies to reach 100, gives him a lot more, a couple more turns before reaching the next level, because 100 experience is a level up at all times. Leveling is linear in this game. It does not scale the cost. And Sage is just here to beat enemies for us. I don't know why Delita is, running away from the enemies, but that's okay. If Delita doesn't do anything, I guess Sage will kill them all. And remember, Sage does have auto potion. So if we get really unlucky and it never goes off, then 21 damage is actually rather a lot. But should be able to keep things under control. Okay. Sage can get a double hit now that they're next to each other. That's nice. Ooh, that was a critical. We are getting lucky on the auto potions, though. This is about, 50, 60% or whatever our brave stat is. So it's, 54%. So getting 2 in a row is pretty lucky. All right, let's heal you. Gotta remember to buy more potions after this. But yeah, this is what the rest is going to look like. It's going to be me. We'll take these out. And I'm going to run over here so we're closer to where crystals might drop from the previous fallen enemies. But this is what most of the grinding looks like, is 3 people in a circle as a wizard runs around sweeping the enemies. So, not the most interesting thing, but also doesn't, takes a while. It takes longer when you're trying to talk during it, and it feels boringer when you're trying to talk during it rather than, like, have some music playing or whatever, but we do what we can. So when it gets a counterattack, we can't get auto potion off that, right? Only their reactions go off. We can't have our reaction affect their reaction. But, Delita's at 61 life because he's a knight now. He has a lot of life. And at some point, they'll hit Delita, and he will likely just heal off it, right? Okay, that's not a physical attack. Now, darkness in this game is glitched. In most FFs, darkness is intended to lower accuracy. I mean, that's what it's intended to do here as well. Darkness is a status effect that lowers accuracy. Did we actually finish doing priest? No, not yet. But in this game, it's glitched, and his accuracy actually will just be full power. Now, I'm going to just move nearer to the things and then wait. And Delita can, attack this. And you can see 28, 100%. Darkness does nothing. It is a glitched effect in this game. We don't have to worry about it. There are a couple mistakes in this game that, like, there were supposed to be interactions that don't end up happening. There's so much that ends up being, like, kind of interactable. There are so many skills that have interesting effects or things that can combine with other things. And just the fact that you can basically have your loadout be any ability from, like, any class combining. There's so much that are interesting interactions in this game. Man, we're seeing so many treasure chests and not many crystals. But there's so much that interacts that, like, I don't mind that darkness is glitched, right? If it was a game where darkness was, like, critical to making the game interesting, then it would suck, that it's glitched. But as is, it's nothing to worry about. Will we get auto potion for the third time at 54%? We will not. Let's grab treasure chest. Okay, that's just something to sell later. And per usual, we just punch each other. Hopefully we can level up Priest this fight. And Monk, we won't be able to get to level 4 Monk this fight, but, we made progress. Alright, we'll get another treasure chest. If they hit us again and auto potion doesn't go off, we will have to heal. Delita shouldn't kill it this turn, right? Yeah. We should get one more turn of doing stuff. And auto potion does go off, so we don't have to worry about anything. Alright, so ending this fight brings us to Dorder, which is kind of the start of every challenge run, is like have everything set up by the time you reach Dorder. Dorder is often a really difficult fight for new players. When I first played this game, I lost repeatedly at Dorder. I hadn't figured out how to change classes. I hadn't figured out almost anything. All right, we got our job level up as well as the level up. So Pithy is done. Has been done the whole time. And now Delita can finish it off. Perfect. This ended at just the right time. So we're going to do some grinding of classes before Dorder, and then we'll be ready to go. It should not be super difficult for us just through this forest. We're almost to Dorder, but that's where the game and the story will really begin properly. And I hope you'll join me there, because I think the gameplay and the story are going to be fun to experience. I really like FFTactics. The reason it became an absolute favorite of mine is being able to play it with different challenges. I think it's the game you can kind of play through the most different ways. And because every time I play now, I have a different, set of 3 pairs of classes, really provides nice variety to how I play it. Let's quickly think. All right, so you're still on Monk. You're going to change jobs to Oracle. You are now ready to go, right? Priest and Oracle is everything. You're a Priest Oracle. That's your pair. We can JP scroll glitch here. Didn't quite do what I meant it to, but let's see. No, we're just gaining slight amounts at a time. Or losing slight amounts. Sometimes you have to mess around a bit. There we go. All right. So we can JP blah, blah, blah. JP scroll glitch. Move MP up is really nice here. Move MP up means we can restore MP simply by moving, which is great. Absorb used MP. I think we'd rather have Regenerator, but this means if we get hit by spells, we can gain MP back, which can be nice. Blind is not useful. Spell Absorb can regain MP. Life Drain can steal HP, and on high HP enemies, it automatically does a quarter of their health. For weak enemies that you could 2-shot or 1-shot anyway, that's useless, but for big boss enemies, this is actually a great ability, Life Drain. Pray Faith and Doubt Faith. Doubt Faith is a useful trick to have, because Doubt Faith can lower Faith to 0, which makes you resistant to all magic. So if someone sets up a long, powerful cast on one of your characters, you can Doubt Faith in response, and if it goes off first, and it's quite fast, it's a fast spell, you can make sure that will do 0 to you, which is a cool effect. There's a trick with zombie in a certain fight where there's a character that has a move that absorbs HP from you, and if you switch to zombie, that hurts them instead of healing them. They will then stop using that move, but given that that move is their best move, it's a useful trick. Most of this is not particularly important. Let's get Dispel Magic and just remove if they happen to have a positive effect. Paralyze is probably the most useful actual ability. It puts don't act on enemies. They can't act on their turn. Sleep and Petrify are also pretty nice. I think the rest, um, they put a debuff on enemies. Maybe Silence is useful. Let's grab Silence. But mostly we want stuff that like really takes them out of the action for a few turns, and only Paralyze, Sleep, and Petrify do so. And actually, if we now switch over to I think we want to be Priest, but we should check our stats. So right now we have 6 magic power and 6 speed. And if we switch to Priest, because we're trying to maximize magic attack and speed. And if we look at Priest, we have 6 speed and 5 magic attack. So Oracle's a little better right now. In general, I think we'll be Priest more often. Priest has higher speed, and Oracle has higher magic attack. Speed's more important, but at this point in time, they have the same speed, so it makes no difference. I'm going to keep item here for now. When I'm done with grinding, I'll switch off item. But, for the grinding part, you're allowed to use whatever you want. Yuna can now switch. What are you switching to? You did 2 archer. You now need 3 feet. All right. So you should still have item. Yeah. And you've already unlocked Knight, right? Yeah. Knight can't JP scroll glitch. Everything is on one page. You can only JP scroll glitch if there's one of these pages of abilities is longer than the full page. So some classes have access, some classes don't. But we've already unlocked one of the classes, and we will start unlocking these abilities more slowly as we actually are a knight. Ramza, you're just working on monk. Looks good. So, all right, we're going to stop here. I'm going to buy some potions while I remember to not go to the bar. Though at the bar, you can hear rumors and learn a little about stuff like the Death Corps. This is pretty similar to what we've seen before. King Omdoria. There's a great concern. He collapsed at his son's birthday celebration, and his son is very young, and he's going to take some time to recover. He's not going to make any public appearances, but most stuff is done by Queen Revelia anyway, so probably doesn't matter. And we can also learn a bit about the 50-Year War, when a king died without naming his successor, and a lot of people tried to take power. And, you get some details here. We learn that Balbanes and the TG Cid, Balbanes is our father, were the 2 most effective leaders during the 50-Year War. And yeah, you can read this if you choose. But I am finishing up the episodes. We will not be doing that. Instead, we will be buying some potions, and now I'm off to grind on my own. And I'll see you on the other side when we are ready to do Dorder. Cheers.